afternoon, everybody. Tile 486. That's quite something, isn't it? I am actually in awe that we keep going with these. They're just so lovely to do. And I hope you still enjoy them and you still want to watch and try them. But it's not just about drawing something, isn't it? Having a moment. It's about skills and learning new things. So with that in mind, I'm going to do the same as ever. I've actually used a range of inks. To be honest, I've used the Spectrum Noir, one of the Parakeet, I think, one of the purples, a Damson, and a little bit of a green, maybe it was, green topaz. Bit of Spritz, and I've left it to dry completely, so I've got a real nice sort of background going on. And what I want to do is I want to find I want to put a vertical line in, so I'm going to look central-ish. You know, I never measure, so let's go. Actually, I might do it this way because I might see it a little bit easier there. And here we go. I'm going to put in that line just as a guide, just to get me going. You can do it as a straight line. You can use a ruler if you like, but I'm not going to worry too much. Let's go in a bit. Okay, so I'm going to stick with pencil for a moment, just because I think this is a big shape and I want to get it in, and then I can do everything else in pen. So I'm going to start from about here, not too far to the top there, and it's going to come down, not to the bottom, there's halfway. Let's go down a little bit more, about there. See, look, it's quite a size in that sense. And what I want to do is I want to curve it. So as before, I'm always going to sort of imagine where it is first. Okay, I'm going to make that bottom bit a little bit fatter, so it's almost sitting, and the top look is going to a point. Now let's have a look at this other side. Now looking there, I'm going to give myself a little pointer to give me an idea of where that's going to be. So it looks something similar. It's never going to look the same, but I've got something similar. There you go. So once I'm happy with that, let's get the pen in, and I'm going to draw that one in, like so. It's going to work my way around it. Okay, and because I've got something to work to, I can turn this round now, and I can follow that shape as I'm going. Go a little bit of a kind of a teardroppy shape. And yeah, I'm back to my little tatty pieces of rubber. Just think it works. Okay, all right. So what I do need though, my little brush. That's not so little. There you go. All right, so let's have a look. I'm going to put a little bit of I'm going to say a frame. It's not quite a frame because I'm going to bring it in a bit, and I'm going to go to the bottom there. So it's going to come round. It's going to touch at the bottom. And same on this side. Round we go. So a touch at the bottom. So far so good. I'm going to get another one in. So again, imagining where that line is. Still got that vertical in my sides. Round we go. And into that one. And let's get another one in if you can. All right. So let's do a bubble in the middle of that one, and then work either side and either side, following it through with a little bit of ink on the sides. All right, I can cheat a little bit and shape my bubbles a little bit better if I need to. Look, fill a bit of black around the outside. There you go. All right, let's go in a little bit. Here we are. And so on the top here, I'm going to put in a tiny little kind of leaf shape there, just fill in that space. And then on this side, I'm going to bring in a curve. So I'm following the curve of that original little leaf shape that I did there. And I'm going to work my way around. See, I'm moving my piece as I go. Each time. So it's going to kind of follow that shape. You see, as I'm working my way down the piece, it's following that curve. And along we go. Oops. Making sure I get edge to edge there. You see? So let's look at this side then, and I'm going to repeat. Now I'm not going to count how many I've done on the other side. Doesn't matter. So I'm going to come down, look, and put in however many I need. I'm just sort of doing it by eye, so just move it as you need to. Along we go. And just kind of keep it going all the way down. Okay. So at this point, put the lid on my pen for a moment. I'm going to bring my brush pen in. And I'm going to colour the stripes. Now your choice whether you fill this bit in with ink or whether you go the next one down. I'm going to fill that one in, like so. Now you can do this in any colour. You can use a brush pen, or you could use, you know, something a bit thicker. You could colour it in with pencils. I just think it's going to give a real nice drama kind of appeal to it. We want that edge to look kind of 3D, and putting stripes in is going to help that. So I always think the brushes, they give it a little bit of a kind of a smoother finish. And into there. Okay. Same on this one. I'm going to bring it round. And along we go. How different it looks, doesn't it, when you put a bit of black on it? I think we noticed that with the tile on Tuesday, where we filled quite a lot of it in with black ink. It makes a difference. Sometimes you know you need it. Sometimes you don't want to go too harsh. Well, this is looking kind of nice. Okay. Just finishing those bits. There it is. Okay. Just going to come back in with my regular pen now. Just put that bit in there that I've noticed. And I'm going to start at this top edge, and I'm going to put part of a line in. And then if I come round a bit, imagine I've got my 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock. Like that. And then looking in the middle, separate that. And notice that there's sort of slightly different angles. See? One down here and one here. So then I'm going to work, let's start kind of in the middle of those and work from one to the other. All the way around. So there's the middle look to the other. You see? So this one, a little bit easier, this one. So put one in the middle look. I'm kind of getting 2 on either side. And of course that depends on your piece and how how big or small you drew that first little shape. These are going to get quite small down the bottom there, you see. So something similar on this side. A couple on there. And that one. And same sort of thing here, look. So you're going to kind of draw it to suit. And then at the bottom, even smaller lines. Now I'm not going to put dots on them. It's tempting to, but I'm not going to, because sometimes you might find they get a little bit too close together and we don't want to spoil that line that we've got there already. So, okay, from that, let's have a little look at it. Okay, so I'm going to come in now with a loop shape here. I'm going to kind of follow that shape a bit. So I'm going to come out and then in. So it's not touching, but it's following that same curve. And let's do it on this side as well. So it's going to come round, look. Not trying to get them the same, because they're not going to be. Okay. So if I turn it round for a moment, and I'm going to put one here, I can go a bit larger. And then one here. Like so. And then I'm going to go with one up here. So I'm going to follow the shape again. Similar on the other side. And then one here. on here. So I'm getting the same amount on both sides, but I'm not particularly worried whether they match or not. That doesn't really matter. Let's get one in there, look. And one in there. Okay. So let's go a little bit closer and have a look at these shapes. I'm going to start with this bottom one here. Let's turn it around so I can see it. And I'm going to create kind of a bubble shape in there. It's more oval-ish, like that. Let's do the same in that one. So I'm not touching the sides as such. Round we go. You see? And then I'm going to have this bit, so if I mark it, this bit is the bottom of my little shape. So when I turn it, you can see what I'm doing. Because I'm going to keep that line, but I'm going to draw another one, two of those shapes. You see it's at the bottom there. So let's do this one. Again, there's the bottom. So that's where I'm going to keep my pen. It's going to touch that line, and then that one's going in as well. So we've got that. So I can get a little loop in there, and I'm going to put another little loop inside it. And again, look, it's always joining that bottom bit there, like so. So I'm going to bring my brush back in, and I'm going to fill in that bottom piece there. All right, all done. So let's move out a little bit. You can see what I'm doing. I think while I'm at it, I'm going to rub out that vertical line. I don't really need that anymore. It's my little brush, look. And if I can, I don't want to kind of smudge that black ink, but let's get rid of those little bits too. So something similar on here. I'm going to come in with that kind of a loop, ovally shape. Let's do all of them. And then this one. And along in there. And that one. And that one. See how that kind of puts those shapes in. And then as before, if you need to put that line in to mark it, but when it's sort of facing this way, I can kind of see what I'm doing. So bringing it to almost to a vertical, so I know how I'm drawing this, and that one. Oh, hi everybody. Oh, I just spotted Linda there. Linda, that rose, fabulous. Even Kane said it was fabulous, didn't Kane?
Oh, that was fantastic, yeah.
Yeah, he was pretty impressed. He was,
Well,
yeah, he's getting a little bit nervous because it was so good. But no, it's fab. If anybody has not seen Linda's rose that she drew with the help of Kane on his live the other day, please, if you did it, you know, send us some pictures, put them on the group and let us see them. Yeah. Anyway, back to this. Okay. All right. Here we go. Okay. All right. I'm going to do the same look with these, and then I'm going to come back in and I'm going to add some loops in the other shapes. We've got quite a lot of that black going on now. So here we go. Look, I'm putting a loop in there, and I'm going to continue and do the second one. So it's sort of one movement. I've not took my pen off the paper there. So there's one, there's two. So I'll go round. 1 and 2. Keep it going, kind of thing. You sort of find that they like a natural sort of pen movement there. See, that's quite small, so I can use my regular pen to fill that in. Along we go there. And that one. Okay. All right. So let's have a look. We've got some more space here, so I'd like to add a few more of these little loops in. I'm going to bring one down here. See, not touching now. And then down here. And we can get another one in here and here. Okay, I've not put anything at this bottom area. I don't want to do that there. I'm just going to put these in. So again, they're kind of becoming natural now. because, you know, you can do them in one foul swoop, so to speak. So there's my main one. And then I can get 1 and 2 in there and fill it. Same with the loops. And let's come into this one. Hey, Janet. There you are. I'm just checking now, see if I've missed anything. Janet keeps me on track, don't you? She'll notice if I've missed something. All right. And same there, look. Okay, there we go. That's a good start. Okay, so let's have a look at little bits here on either side. What I want to do is just a little loop on either side. And then I'm going to continue up with a bubble and then a dot. See, a bubble, then a dot. And I can fill in that little loop there. Gives that a little bit of attention. Okay. And let's have a look down on this bottom edge. What I want to do is I want to imagine I'm getting a curl and it's coming from here. It's going to go underneath. And then it's going to come back up and round over the top, see? I'm going to put a little loop on the edge. Sticking it up a little bit. See, I could have used a number 5 pen for that, couldn't I? I think that's what I'll do. I'm going to switch to a 5. Okay, that just means I don't have to double up. So I'm going to put kind of a smaller one here. Look. See, look, that's better, isn't it? I only have to draw it once. Loop it. I'm going to bring another one round here. I'm going to go underneath. Might go over the top of that though. Your choice. See a little bobble on the end there. Let's bring one. So I'm going to go over this and then under that. One loop. Okay. So I'm going to bring one off the top of that one. So similar kind of thing here. Let's have one sort of coming up from this, and I'm going to come down here. Maybe a little one there. So I'm making the sides different now on purpose, because we know that these, although we've got the same amount on each side, we know that they're not going to be symmetrical. So we're now drawing the eye to do something a little bit different and to see things that are kind of mixing it up. So you're not going to notice so much that it's not symmetrical. Okay, let's get one in there. And I'm going to bring, let's go one from here and one up and round there. So I'm taking them sort of over and under on purpose as well. It's all about giving it that little bit of a, see, let's have one there, look. A little bit of sense that there is some dimension going on. I'm only going to go so far up. I'm not going to go all the way. So up here we can add a couple of little bubbles. I've stuck with my black pen there as well. Okay, so all the little dots lying around. So let's have a look. I'm going to put a bit of colour in this and then I'll bring some shadow in. And I'm going to stick with this kind of colour that I've used. So definitely my sea blue is coming in there. Dark sea blue. Mid sea blue. I've got a white. So let's make a start with them. I'm going to come in the middle. So with my dark sea blue, I'm going to add a little bit of colour to one side of each of those bubbles, like so. And whilst I've got this one in hand, I'm going to add some at the bottom. Don't press on too hard, because you can always come back and add another layer in a little bit. You want to blend them. So switching over, look, to my mid sea blue. Let's add a little bit of that in. So see, I'm going a little bit further up each time, a little bit into those bubbles, like so. So I'm going to bring a bit of summer sky in. There it is. And that'll help with that. Of course, it's easier to blend because I've got colour in the background. So it's not going to give me so much as a hard time as if I was trying to colour over white. Having said that, I'm going to bring my white in. Let's add some. And see, back and forth over the top. A little bit on those bubbles. Okay. So then I can come back in like with the darker colour. And there. Then the mid colour. So again, not particularly pressing on. Just want to go over those lines and help them to blend. That's sea blue. Sorry, summer sky rather than sea blue. I've already done them. And then the white. Okay, now if you wanted to, for a little bit more of a punch, because I've got this colour, it's like a pinky purple, isn't it? I can bring that in. Let's have a look. I'm going to bring in my mid-pink purple. See, similar colour. And I can add a touch of that right to that top edge there, look. And a little bit at the bottom, a little bit in those. There you go. Just changes it up a little bit. Let's have a little look at that. See that? You've got that lovely sort of blend going on. Now I'm not going to colour the whole thing because, you know, that would kind of take us quite a while. So I'm going to stick with these colours and I'm going to focus on this bit here, and then everything else I'm going to shade in. But please feel free to go ahead and colour everything. Okay, so I'm going around the outer edge this time. See, that's my darkest. And I'm coming in with my mid sea blue, the top of those lines. Okay, a little bit of summer sky. See, I've got a bit more space to work with here, so I can sort of do broader lines. And then my white, right on that edge where that black line is. Okay, a little bit of mid-pink purple. I'm going to go more at the top than anything. There you go. See there, look? To bring that out a bit more. Okay, I think what I can do is I'll stick with maybe one colour. Let's go with mid sea blue. And rather than think about blending anything, I'm going to pick one of these lines. I'm going to go with, let's have a look, that outer one. And I'm going to fill in completely with that colour. Okay. So you see there where I've got more of the purpley colour. I'm going to bring that in so it kind of matches. See, then this one is back to that kind of greeny sea blue colour. And this one into there. So you see, filling the whole thing in completely there. And then this one, look, I'm going to go with this colour, being that it's closer to. Same with that one. Just going to go back in and finish that one properly. There you are. And then into these. So I say you can colour the whole thing. There's quite a few variations of this you can do. Oh look, nearly. Is that all of them? Oh no, another one. Getting carried away with my colours there. All right. Let's have a look at that. Okay. All right. Regular pencil then. And starting around this section here, I'm going to come in and go over the top of those stripes on one side and then the other. Now you don't want to put a massive amount on. You don't want them touching completely. Okay, oh, this is probably having little bits of rubber as you lose them. Yeah, because it's slightly gone over there. I don't want that. Oh, look, I've missed one. Always. There you are. Colour that in. Yeah, so both sides, but you don't want them touching in the middle. They're going to touch at this bottom edge. It's because it's really fine there. Okay. And I'm going to come in with a little bit at the bottom there to sort of work it up one side more than the other. Doesn't matter which. As long as you're doing one side longer each time. See, I'm going to put more there, look, and less there. And I'm swapping round each time. I'm not really concerned about where the light's coming from, anything like that. I'm following my own little rule. One side's going to be more than the other. A little bit in there. Into that one. Okay. All right, let's bring the tortillon in. And start with this bit. I perhaps should have mentioned as well that I did start with a green tile. It's the very pale green out the sorbets. I do use white a lot, but now and again it's nice to have that little bit of extra colour in the background. You see, again, I'm softening them off, but I'm not going into the middle. I'm leaving the middle bit. And here, I'm going to try and stay within the lines if I can. See how it pulls around? And I'm trying to leave that little bit there. You can always go back in and rub it out later if you find it's tricky, or leave it. Again, another one of my little challenges is to try and shade around it if I can. Alright, little bits. A bit in there, see? Let's do this one. So back and forth, you know, you just want to keep going until you've got that nicely sort of smoothed out and it almost disappears. There's a nice smooth transition there. So if you need to, you can resort to swirls, look, like this, and push it round. Just be gentle with it. Keep swirling, it'll do it. See, look, I've missed them. Into that one. That's okay. I can put the pencil in any time. You can do one at a time if you want. Don't have to pencil them all at the same time. All right. And along we go to those bits. Let's do this one. And this one. Almost done. Let's have a little bit more on that one. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my white gel pen at this point. Just going to make sure it works. Yeah, I have to try it on my hand. I don't know if you should or not, but it works for me. And I'm going to come down the middle of that line. One swoop if you can. See? And let's go into that now. Turn it round. And again, along. One swoop if you can. And let's get it to touch that there. Okay. So in here, let's add some little dots. So you see what I'm doing? I'm putting one in my loop and one in my little black section there. Now these aren't necessarily in the middle, but they're giving it a little bit of a highlight in there, see? Dots. So we're not really drawing with it, I'm just putting some dots in. This makes a difference. Little kind of highlights. There's something quite special, I think, about using a gel pen for a dot. It works well. Of course, it's giving it a little bit more of a lift, you see, than not having anything in at all. I'm going to spring my torch on it and soften that one a little bit more. That's better. In that one. And those. So we're not far off 500 now. I think we need cake and tea on that day, don't we? A little bit of a celebration. I'm going to put some white dots around. I'm going to pick some areas that where I possibly might sort of see them. So it's something, you know, you might want to consider. If you've not got a coloured tile. You might not feel that this is necessary, but it just gives it that little bit of an extra touch. Fill that in. So you just let them dry. Keep them different sizes. Sort of makes a bit of a difference, doesn't it? Okay, almost there. I'm not counting, by the way. I'm not counting how many dots. Yeah, just need a few down here, look. Just be careful you don't smudge them as you put your hand over it. But then again, most of you watching aren't left-handed, you're right-handed, so you shouldn't have a problem. See, nosy. Still a couple down here. Getting a bit addicted now. Need to stop in a minute. There we go. A little bit on those bubbles. You know, just bring that bit of white out that we put in. Makes a difference. And just a little bit on that top edge there. Just to make sure it's definitely white. Okay, lid on for that. And last thing to do, bit of a signature. Gonna do it here. There you go. All right, there's our tile, all done and sorted. So that's it until next week now, unless you're around in the morning and you're watching Sewing Street. I'll be on there with some new fabrics and things. I am going to share it on Sanntangle in a short while. We've just been labelling up numbers and codes and stuff on them. So there you go. Have a lovely weekend, everybody. Don't forget, I'm not doing the tiny tiles at the weekend, but I'll be back on Monday morning, hopefully, with that. But other than that, have a good one. I'll catch you all soon. Take care. Bye.